So over this past weekend, I felt convicted by the Spirit. And the Spirit was asking me, do you want me to help keep you out of debt, or do you want to get in debt? Because you're on your way there. How many of you guys have a budget? If you have a budget for your household or for things that you want to get and obtain, comment in below and let me know. Me personally, I had not set up a budget in 7 years. The last time I had a budget was when I was going through the process of buying a house. And when I was going through that process, I only did it to stay on top of my finances and to see where my money was going. Once I got what I wanted, I was done with it. I was like, I did not need that negativity in my head, in my space, or anything like that. And that kind of reminds me of where my relationship with God has been in the past and where I don't want to go back to. So I'm glad that he put that on my heart, and that will be today's topic as well. Now, let me tell you all something about me. Well, the old me. The old me used to be Swiper from Dora the Explorer. And if you... And I use that analogy to describe how I was with my debit card, my credit cards, and things of that nature. I felt like if it came to a point to where I needed to get something, then I would be disciplined. However, there are things that I need and want right now. So I should be able to go ahead and get it as long as I'm not getting declined. But baby, did last year tell me that that was not the right thing to do. So last year I had been given borrowed time from God, and that's just how I'm going to put that. I had a pipe burst that was in my basement, and when I moved into my house a few months after that, I started, anytime that we would have like real bad heavy rain or whatever, my basement would get flooded, and I never knew why that was. And like one day I was in the kitchen doing the dishes, and I just heard like gushing, like uncontrollably amounts of water going into my basement. So I thought it was like the sub pump or whatever. I called my dad called my brother. They all came around there and are like, it must be something that's causing this stuff to come back in or what have you. So I had to call a plumbing company, and when the plumbing company came out, they fixed the situation. It was like there had been disposable wipes in my pipes, and I'm like, that's odd. Like, I've been in this house for well, at this time 6 years. I've never used or purchased disposable wipes. Like, my kids don't use them. We're like, I at the time I didn't even have Taylor, so I wasn't even buying wipes. So I was just like dumbfounded. Like, am I now going to have to start checking people or saying like, put signs on my door when people come over, because that expense hit me. So he said that because they came out and they were able to unclog my pipes, that they offered a free service to whatever on a camera. They said that they would run a camera into my pipes or whatever. And in doing so, it was actually, I would never forget this day. It was the day of my birthday, December 16th. So right before Christmas, the guy came out and ran a camera, and he was like, it's going to back up again. And I'm like, oh, why? Like, he just fixed it. Why is it going back up again? And he said, basically, because your pipes broke. And he was like, this is likely from, your house settling. They use like these older pipes, and once your house finally settles, it can be like the weight of it can cause the pipes to break or whatever. And no matter what you do, they was like, they went 16 feet out from my house, like it's gonna happen again. So that was pretty alarming. And he was like, you know, it's a pretty big expense. I was quoted $8,600, and when I tell you, I wanted to pass out. Like, I didn't have $8,600. I didn't even have $2,000 saved up. And it was almost Christmas time. Like, what was I going to do? So I had to get it fixed because it was causing backup in my house. And I was to the point to where at that moment I was ready to just give up my house, move out. And it just hit me like a light bulb went off. Like, you're going to go ahead and get rid of your house for what reason? Like, what reason would you have to get rid of your house? Like, if you go somewhere else, you're going to be paying more in mortgage. You're going to, like, it's an investment. Like, that's the things that I had to tell myself or whatever. So I ended up coming up with the money. I had to get it fixed in as soon as possible. So it was immediately that I got it done. And it just convicted me. Like, I feel like I had to go through certain things in order to understand, like, just like you need food and water, you also need God for spiritual healing and direction. So that's why, like, I signed up for Mint, and I used the same program when I bought my house 7 years ago. And they do everything for you. So they categorize your bank accounts. Like, you literally log into your bank account and they tell you how much you have coming in. Just like if you were looking at your online banking, but now it's telling you how much is going towards food, how much is going towards utilities, so forth and so on. So you can know where to make adjustments. Like, for me, being in school, I resorted to cooking out a lot, and I could have just went to the grocery store. That was a waste of money. Like, that's why I tell my kids now, like, no, we're going to eat what's in the house. Like, I will admit that I took advantage of knowing what God has got me out of in the past. And I feel like those are the times when I get tested in the same ways, as far as being tempted on getting something or saving it. So I just really have been in a good space, surrendering and giving my life to God, letting him handle every aspect. Like, it was the reason why I gave him access to my banking information, just so that he can convict me. Like, if I go to Starbucks and buy coffee when I have a whole 180 pack of K-Cups downstairs, I'm just using my own little analogies. But seriously, like, when you say that you're going to surrender, you're not going to try to control any aspects of your life. And that is the headspace where I'm at right now. So it's convicted me, and like, I am not even mad at it if I can't do something because it's going to interfere with my Bible time, or if it's going to cause me to spend money, but I have a goal of saving $30,000 next year. Like, it's just little things like that has really been put into perspective since I've turned my life over to God. And he's been blessing me in so many ways that I didn't realize. Like, I have oil heat, and just getting a call from someone saying, hey, like, we're going to come fill up your tank. Like, that's a blessing. Like, once you give up the will to control, watch how your life becomes blessed. I'm telling you. So just knowing, like, all the promises that God makes and has kept, like, in the Bible and everything, that's very comforting. Like, I have no doubt. And I feel like when you look at the world and the things that you have accepted and allowed to go on, why not try something different to get new results? So, the Bible is something that the kids and I keep near and dear. We study it every day. We get up and prepare ourselves every morning. And it's really been helping them, like, seeing something written, knowing that that's real, even though you can't see God, and just knowing that he's all around. So I'm going to keep you guys updated with that. I've done other finance and savings videos, but this time I'm just being intentional and holding myself accountable.